James, this is yet another one of those moments where when they're hanging up your jersey or maybe going to the hall, they're going to roll that Dame time capsule, and this is one of them. So where does this one rank up with the all-time classic Damian Lillard moments?
You said, where does this rank?
Yeah, for you. I mean, obviously it ain't a playoff game, but just the magic of it to be down like that so late and there's no quit, and it's kind of proof in the pudding for what kind of player you are.
I'm not sure. I think I would have to see them all in front of me to be able to, I guess, express how I felt about each one. Usually when I see those plays, I'm able to go back to those moments pretty easily. So I would have to see each play. But I think this one is special, because, in these situations where, we down 5, I think with 11 seconds left, those are the moments where the winning team thinks that, they got the game pretty much wrapped up and the opposing team is discouraged. And in my head, I think Terry or Coach Stotts, I don't know why I called him Terry. I never call him that. I think Coach Stotts and, Coach Oz and Coach Nate and Coach Jim, Coach Juice, they'll all tell you that I'm the most ambitious person in the world. They take me out when we down 10 with 15 seconds left, and I'm coming out the game pissed off because in my head, I just play out every situation of, how we could somehow come out on top in that moment. And I think this is special because usually it never works out how I see it in my head. Usually I'm just, I'm crazy about the situation when really it's like no chance of that happening. But tonight, 5-point game, we got the ball. It's only 11 seconds left. And in my head, I was like, all right, on the side out of bounds, if they chase me, I'm going to try to run to the ball and stop and let them run into me to get a free throw and then get it back and pump fake and try to hit a 3 and get fouled. And then I was like, if he don't chase me, I'm just going to get a catch and try to raise up for a 3, as soon as I get it so we have enough time in case we foul and they miss free throws and we can come down and get another shot. But once, GT got the jump ball, we've been talking about that, over the last couple of games. Like, if we down before we foul, go for a jump ball, try to tie him up first. And GT, his mind was working in that play. And once he went to the jump circle in my head, I was like, it's about to happen. Like, the ball going to end up in my hands. I ain't going to have much time. But, like, this is one of those ambitious moments that, like, that never happened. It never comes to life. But, this time it did. So I think because of that is, this is going to be a special one.
Next question is Orlando Sanchez, KGW.
Dame, can you describe what that feeling is like to see the ball go through the net and you win the game, and obviously the celebration from the court to the locker room and what it means to be able to come through for your team like that?
It felt great. We've had some tough losses lately. We've been dealing with injuries and a lot of tough situations for our team, but we've continued to battle and stay together. And, we haven't made excuses. We haven't felt bad for ourselves. Each guy that's been put into the rotation that wasn't in the rotation before has stepped up and been ready to play. And without those guys, being prepared and having the mentality that they've had, we wouldn't be in a position for a game winner to happen, or to win any of these games. So I think our young guys and, Harry, Nas, Ant hadn't been playing a whole lot. They all deserve a lot of credit for, staying ready. And when this moment came, they've been able to help the team still compete, with chance to win games.
Jason Quick, The Athletic.
Hey, Dame, in your life, there's been a pretty common thread and one that we've seen kind of play out here in Portland, a common thread of don't doubt you, don't underestimate you, don't count you out.
Yeah.
Where did that start, and where does that come from?
I think a funny story that's really why it started. It started in my own family. And, that's the crazy thing. And I think that's why I always reference my upbringing and the kind of family that I come from, because, just the challenge, how competitive it is in my family. It could be something like a spelling bee, it could be anything. Like we compete to the death and it don't matter, and you held to a certain standard in my family where it's just like, you know, you're going to be built for, you know, the low moments. You're going to be built to handle the high moments properly, you know, and you know, your skin is going to be tough. You know, you're going to be prepared to rise, and you're going to be prepared to, you know, deal with failure. And, you know, but you learn to keep moving forward regardless of what the outcome is. And when I was 10 years old, or when I was 8 years old, my whole family played football. My brother was a football player. My older cousin, who's like my brother, that lived with me my whole life, was a football player. All my cousins was football players. And basketball was like a secondary sport. You know, everybody could hoop, but like that wasn't the main sport for my family. My uncle was the coach of the team. And I was a basketball player. And my dad was like basketball and baseball. So when I was 8, they was like, all right, you old enough to play junior peewees, you need to come play on the team. Like so I was like, all right, I'll play or whatever, but I really didn't want to play. So when I would go to practice, I'd be faking sick and not want to go to practice. When I got out there, it would be raining at practice and in games, and I just didn't want to be there. And I was a 6-play player, and that was where they got to put you in the game for 6 plays, and then you don't have to play no more after that in Pop Warner, but you got to play at least 6 plays. And after that, I quit. You know, after that one season when I was 8, I was like, I don't want to play no more. You know, my family was getting on me like, you scared. You don't want to get hit. You a 6-play player. And I remember me and my brother got bikes. You know, we had the Mongoose bikes, and we had plates on the front of them. And my brother had his football number on there. And I wanted to put a different number on there, but just because I was so bad, they made me put my football number on there, which was number 63. And I was the smallest dude on the team. And I remember everybody was just getting on me, like for the next year and a half, like, you scared, you don't want to play, you don't want to get hit. So I was like, I told my family, I'm going to play. I'm going to play next year. I'm going to play one more time. And when I was 11 years old, I came back and I played. I was Defensive Player of the Year. I was all over the field. I was so good in football that like my family wanted me to just like really, really get into it and take it serious. But after that, I quit again. Because like for me, it was just like, if y'all gonna challenge me this way, like I'm gonna answer the call, and I'm gonna show you I'm not scared. It's just not what I want to do. And I think that's where it started. I don't mean to be telling y'all long ass stories, but that's the true story.
Okay, we got time for a couple more. We're gonna go to Dwight James, NBC Sports Northwest.
Hey, Dave, when you're down by 5 with 11 and a half seconds to go, a lot of things have to go right to win the game. You talked about that. But one specific thing I wanted to ask you about is Trent getting the jump ball and then winning the tip against Levine. What did you think of that?
I mean, that was ambitious. Like I said, it was, it took a special effort. You know, it's crazy because every time we get to the end of the game, I'm always going to the younger guys who are usually in the game because we want to, like, you know, go for a jump ball or have to work to try to deny passes in. So it's like Ant, me, Hoodie, you know, if CJ's healthy, it's CJ. But GT and Ant, you know, they've been out there. So I always tell them at the end of the game, before you go for the foul, try to tie them up for a jump ball. And I just say it over and over and over. And we say it in the huddles, go for the jump ball first. So for him to have the presence of mind in that situation to just do it and then go for the tip and win the tip against probably the most athletic player in the league, you know, those 2 plays were equally as important, you know, as a game winner, because without those plays, is no opportunity for it.
Okay, last question, Casey Holdall, Trailblazers.com.
Damian, obviously you always carry a huge burden on this team, even in the best of times. But right now, obviously, the team is shorthanded as they are. The situation you guys are in, you're on the road, kind of struggling to find any consistency. How would you describe your burden now with this team in terms of your responsibility and just how much you put on your own shoulders to go out and get it done?
I think, you know, it's no secret that I have a lot of responsibility, you know, to get the job done. Especially with everything that we're dealing with as far as injuries. But I think the burden is not so much me scoring more points or having more assists or anything like that, even though I do have to step my game up in like certain moments. Like against Houston, I felt like I wasn't good enough down the stretch when we had a chance to win. And tonight I was, and we won the game. But I think the burden is more of trusting GT, trusting Hoodie, trusting Ant, and empowering them and contributing to them being in good situations where they can be successful, and allowing that growth to happen, by putting opportunity there and sacrificing sometimes and managing and calling the game in a way where everybody can benefit and everybody can be in a position to help the team win. Because sometimes, Terry's not going to always see what I see on the floor. He's not going to always, have the same confidence in something that I might see that I have confidence in it for a reason. So I think the burden is more of that, where as if we're a healthy team, I could say Nurk post up, and I could throw it to Nurk and cut through and, Nurk can score on the block or make a play, or I could just go off the ball and CJ can have 35 or 40, So I think it's more of me managing the game more and, picking my spots and also, empowering other guys and allowing other guys to have those moments so they can swim as well.